So today we're going to take a look at a note-taking application that has quickly evolved from being a favorite app to now being my go-to app, and that is Google Keep. So stick around to see what it's all about on Roger Talks Tech. So I was talking with some friends a while back, and though they were Gmail users, they were unfamiliar with the Google Keep application. So apparently there are plenty of people who have never heard of it. So first off, what is Google Keep? Keep is a free cloud note-taking application that connects to Google Drive and allows you to create, manage, and share notes with others. You can create basic text-based lists, checklists, memos, notes with images, notes with drawings, and sync those notes to all of your devices. The Google Keep doesn't keep your notes in folders and notebooks like Evernote, but rather it has a sticky notes, post-it notes type of feel to it. Additionally, Google Keep storage is tied to your overall Google account. Now, by default, I believe all Google accounts get 15 gig of free storage, but keep in mind that this storage allotment is shared across every Google app you use, including Gmail, Google Photos, Google Keep, and Google Drive. Now, storage space with Google Keep shouldn't be too much of an issue if you primarily use text-based notes, as they take up almost no space. So let's create some notes in Google Keep. Now I'm going to be working with the desktop version of Google Keep here, but you can accomplish the same tasks from your Android or iOS app. Okay, so let me switch to my web browser. So I'm going to switch to Chrome here, and I'm going to type in keep.google.com. Now I'm already logged into my Google account here, but if you weren't, you would be prompted to enter in a username and password. So first off, we see the Google dashboard here, which is quite clean and uncluttered. Actually, many people love the simplicity of the Google Keep system. So here I already have some notes that I've created. They're located down here, and there are a couple here located under the pinned area. This means that I've pinned these notes so that they show up on top of the page. So you might want to pin notes if you access particular notes on a regular basis. So to create a new note, I can click on the checkbox icon here to create a new list. The new note with drawing icon, in which I can hand draw a note using Google's annotation tools, or a new note with image, in which I can import an image into the note. Now, I do believe that you have to be using the Chrome browser in order to hand draw a note with the annotation tools. But I just want to create a basic text-based note. So I'm going to click in the Take a Note box here. This is one of the things that I love about Google Keep. Just click or tap and begin typing. So first off, let's give it a title. So I'm going to click here in the title field, and I think we'll call this To-Do List. So don't worry if you forget to give your note a title. In that case, Google Keep will use the first line of the note as the title. So now I'm going to click in the Take a Note area down here. And I'm going to type up meeting notes. Then I'll tap Return or Enter. Set up phone conference. Return or Enter, and call Sam. Okay, that should do it. Now let's say that I change my mind and I want to add checkboxes next to each entry so that I can tick them off as I complete them. Well, the good news is that you don't have to retype all of the entries. All I have to do is click the More icon, which is this icon with the 3 dots, and choose Show Checkboxes. And voila, it added a checkbox at the beginning of each new line. Once I complete an item, then I can tick off the checkbox. So I'm going to check the Type Up Meeting Notes box. Note that even though I checked it, the item still remains down here, and it's placed in the completed item area. Now, if I wanted to delete any items that are checked, I would click the More button and then choose Delete Checked Items. But I don't want to do that now, so I'm going to tap my Escape key to exit this menu, and I'm going to uncheck this box to put it back under my main area. Now we can also add a background color to our notes by clicking on the color icon here, and then clicking the color we want. I think I'm going to go with blue, so we'll click blue there. Let's go with a lighter blue. That's a little better. What's nice about colors is that they allow you to quickly find a note in your dashboard. So for instance, you might want to color any priority 1 notes with red so you can scan your notes and find the important ones as needed. You can also create larger tasks in smaller tasks by creating subtasks. So let's add another task here. So I'm going to click in the list item field. And I'm going to call this Create Agenda. And then I'll tap the Return or Enter key on my keyboard. So I want this to be a subtask under the Set Up Phone Conference task here. So note that when I hover my mouse over a task name, we see this little icon with 6 dots up here on the left. This is the drag handle, and it allows you to rearrange items in your note. It also allows you to create subtasks. So I'm going to click on this icon and drag it underneath the phone conference task and a little bit to the right. And now we can see that the Create Agenda is now a subtask of the Setup Phone Conference. So while we're at it, let's move the Call Sam task to the top of the list. So I'll click that drag handle again and drag this all the way up and then release my mouse button. Okay, now we've already seen how to add checkboxes to our notes, but we can also add bullet points to our notes, though at first glance it's not really apparent how to do so. To create a bullet, you need to only type the asterisk symbol, which is above the 8 key on your keyboard, press the space bar, and then type in your item. To remove a bullet, tap the backspace key on your keyboard to delete the bullet. Okay, so I'm going to open my packing list note down here. And to open a note, all you need to do is to click on it. So I'm going to click on my packing list note, and it opens up. So I'm going to click after the word camera here and tap the Return or Enter key on my keyboard. So I'm going to type the asterisk symbol and then tap the space bar on my keyboard. And note that the asterisk has turned into a bullet. Now I'll type lenses and then press the Enter key on my keyboard. And notice that a new bullet is automatically added. Now I'm going to type SD cards and then tap Enter. So now I want to type in a normal non-bulleted entry. So I'll tap the backspace key on my keyboard and that deletes the bullet. So now I'll type toiletries. Now, if you have a lot of notes here in Google Keep, it doesn't take long before your dashboard becomes cluttered and lengthy, making it quite challenging to find your notes. So to help you categorize your notes, you can apply labels to them. So once you create a label, it then appears here in the left pane. Let me get out of this note to show you. So clicking on the label filters your notes and only displays notes that have that selected label applied to them. So if I click the Entrees note here, notice that all my other notes disappear. And Google Keep now only displays one note, the note that has the Entree label applied to it. So I'll just click on the word Notes here in the left pane to remove the filter and redisplay all my notes. So notice that when we switch views, the note that I was working on automatically closed. So I'm going to open up my to-do list note here. Now I want to add a label to this note. So to do so, we click the More icon and choose Add Label from the contextual menu. But first, notice some of the other options here on the menu. We can add a drawing. We can make a copy of the note. We can delete a note. We can hide checkboxes. But I want to add a label, so let's click on that. So we already see a label here for entrees, but I want to create a new label. So I'm going to click on the Enter Label name box here, or field here, and I'm going to type in Office. So then I'll click Create Office. I notice that a label of Office is added to the bottom of the note and also was added to the labels area in the left pane here. So now I'm going to just click away from this note to close it. And now if I click on Office here in the left pane, it hides all of the notes except for that to-do list to which we added the Office label. So let me click Notes here to redisplay all my notes. So now I want to add this Office tag to another one of my notes. I think the vacation day schedule notes here, right down here on the bottom. Now, I don't need to open the note to access the items in the More menu. We can just move our mouse pointer over the note until the icons appear at the bottom of the note, and then click the More button, and choose Add Label. So I will do that, and let's add our office label to the note. So I will click Office, and we can see it's been now added to the note. Okay, so I want to create some more labels. So let's click Edit Labels over here in the left pane. So for my new label, I'm going to type in Household. And when you're finished, you can either tap the Return or Enter key on your keyboard or click the check mark here to create the new label. You can also delete labels from here as well. So if I wanted to delete a label, I would move my mouse pointer over the label. And notice that the icon to the left of the label name turns into a trash can. So if I wanted to delete this label, I would just click on the trash can icon. You can see the informational tag shows up as Delete Label. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to click away from here. Now, in addition to colors and labels, we can prioritize our notes by using the pin feature. So what this does is adds the note to the pinned area on top of your screen here, so they show up first. Pinned notes will remain here unless you delete them or unpin them. We can see here that I already have two notes that are pinned, the Costco list and the grocery list. I have them pinned because they're always there right on top when I need them, and I tend to access them quite often. You can also pin your most important tasks to this area. So let's pin our to-do list note here. So I'm going to hover my mouse cursor over the note, and when I do, notice the pin icon that appears in the upper right corner of the note. So to pin it, I just need to click on the icon, and the note is now pinned to the pinned section. Now, if you want to be reminded when tasks are due, you can set date and time reminders to keep on track. So let's create a new note. So I'm going to move to the top of my screen here. I'm going to click in the Take a Note box and type in Pay Electric Bill. So now let's add a reminder. So I'm going to click the alarm icon here on the left. So here we see some options in the list, but I want to pick my date and time, so I'm going to choose Pick Date and Time in the bottom here. So I'm going to set it for tomorrow, which will be April 4th, and for the time, so I want to set it for 9 a.m., so I'm going to choose Custom here, and then change the 8 to 9. Now, if you want to be reminded of something on a regular basis, such as to take your daily pills, you can create recurring reminders. Just click the Repeat drop-down list here, and choose how often you want to repeat: daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or custom. So from the Custom area, you can choose to repeat the reminder every week on Wednesday to receive a notification message every Wednesday. But I'm just going to go back here and choose Does Not Repeat from the list. Then I'm going to just click Save. Now, if you want to view all of your notes that have active reminders, just click the Reminders icon here in the left pane, and we see the one note to which we added a reminder: Pay Electric Bill tomorrow at 9 a.m. Now, another type of reminder that you can set is a location-based reminder. For instance, you might want to be reminded to buy cat food when you arrive at the store, or maybe to perform a specific task when you arrive at the office. So I'm going to redisplay all my notes by clicking the Notes icon here. And I'm going to click my to-do list here. And I'm going to click the bell icon. And this time, I'm going to choose Pick Place from the list. So let's say I want to be reminded of this when I arrive at my office. So let me type in the address for my office. So I'm going to type in 4230 North Oakland. Notice that as I type, matching addresses show up. So I'm going to select the one I want here, which is this one in Shorewood, and I'm going to click Save. So now a reminder of this will pop up on my phone when I arrive at this location. Now, if I want to remove a reminder, I just move my mouse cursor over it here, and then click the X when it appears. Delete reminder, and that reminder has been deleted. So I'm going to click away from this note here. So if I'm done with a note, we saw that we can delete it from the More menu here by choosing Delete Note. But if we don't want to delete it permanently, we can archive it. When a note is archived, it no longer displays in the dashboard, but you can access it by clicking Archive in the left pane. So let's archive our Pay Electric Bill note. So I'm going to move my cursor over the note here until the icons appear. And the archive icon is located to the left of the More icon. So once I click it, the note has been archived and removed from our notes list. So if I click Archive in the left pane, I can move my mouse cursor over the note, And now the archive icon has turned into unarchive. So I could always bring it back by clicking this icon, but I think I'm going to keep it archived here. So I'm going to go back to notes to redisplay all my notes. So probably my favorite feature of Google Keep is the collaboration feature. So what this does is allows you to share a note directly with another Google user. For instance, my spouse and I both share the Costco list and the grocery list, so either of us can add or remove items from those lists. So you might want to share notes with your other team members, such as to update them on the progress of a project or even send someone a gentle reminder. So let's add a friend to our to-do list note. So I'm going to open the note here, and then I'll click the person icon here, which is the collaborator icon. So if I click that, this displays my email address here, which I will block out, of course, for privacy reasons. So I think I'll share this with my buddy Rodney. So I'm going to type in Rodney's video at gmail.com. And then I'll click Save. Now, if I wanted to remove a team member, I would click the icon again, hover my mouse pointer over the person's name until the X appears, and then click X to delete that user. Once that is done, I will click Save. And let's click away from this note. So you can also search for notes from the search box on top of your screen here, and simply type in your search term and then tap Return or Enter. You can also search within a specific category of note, such as reminders, lists, images, or drawings. So I'm going to click Images here. And in this case, Google Keep displays only those notes which contain images. So now I can either type in a keyword in the search box here to search only within notes that contain images, or I could just simply click a note here in the right pane to open it. So I want to remove this search, so I'm going to click the X in the box here. Now I want to search through all of my notes for the word phone. So I'll just click in the search box and type in phone. As we can see, our to-do list note that contains set up phone conference displays. So let's remove this search, so I will click the X in the search box. Now you can also insert images into your notes, so let's do that here. So I'm going to click my to-do list note. I'm going to go right to the top. And I'm going to click the image icon, which is right next to the right of the color icon. And I'm going to add this image named todo.jpg. So I'll click that, click open, and the image has been added to my note. So if you want to create a hand-drawn note, click the New Note with Drawing icon here. And on top of the screen are Google's annotation tools. Okay, so from the toolbar here, you can choose whether to use a pen, marker, or highlighter. And from each of these, you can choose the color and the size of the brush. So here, using a pen. So if you're working on, let's say, a PDF image and you wanted to highlight certain text, you could use the highlighter, choose the size, and then drag on the area of the image that you want to highlight. And here we have the eraser icon, so then you can erase any mistakes. So let's just go back to the main Google Keep area here. Now, a welcome feature in Google Keep is the Google Keep extension, which allows you to save text, URLs, and images from web pages directly to Google Keep. To get the extension, do a web search for Google Keep Chrome extension, and then you'll want to click Add to Chrome. So I'm going to navigate to my Roger Talks Tech website. And let's see, I'm gonna highlight some text here. So let me scroll down here. I'll highlight this, and then I will click the Add to Keep icon on the top of my browser window. If I want, I could type in a title for my note. I'm going to just do RTT. So I'm going to highlight some more text here. And I'll do Save to Keep. And notice that I just appended that text to the first bit of text that I added. Also notice that the website URL is inserted on the top of the note. So now let's switch back to Keep and take a look at our new note. And here's our new note. So that's about it for a brief little demo of Google Keep. If you'd like to be notified when I release new demos and tutorials, be sure to click the subscribe icon and then click the bell icon as well. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate if you click the like button below. And that'll do it. I will talk to you in the next video.